It is 20 minutes to 2 a.m.
And we started at?
We started today at 10. So we've been in the studio almost, good Lord, what would that be, 16 hours. Until the Dawn Appears came out as actually a fairly random idea to kind of take old songs and sort of bring a new approach to them. I wanted to pick songs that I think stood out to me as songs that were like life songs that I go, okay, I can sing that today with as much resolve as I did when I wrote it. We had a lot of limitations with this record that we used that actually really, I think, helped pull out some creativity. We used strictly acoustic instrumentation. And I think to have that limitation to acoustic instrumentation and not take the temptation to make these huge productions that I've done, which I really liked and enjoyed, but this is fresh in that way. My friend Don Chaffer produced the record. I've known Don for over 10 years and have gotten to know each other really well through the years. In the sense of knowing me personally, he knows me really well. I felt really sort of safe in that this record's a little more vulnerable than I think what I've done before. But I think he really pulled me out of my comfort zones that I can fall in. And to have a really good friend that's been around for years, that was of big value to me.
All right.
We limited ourselves in the time that we used. We did this in about a week or so. We spent some crazy long hours and everybody worked really hard. Don was producing and Greg LaFollette was engineering, who's an amazing engineer and just a great guy to be in the studio with. So it was really the three of us for the most part in that room working out these songs and playing the instruments. It was kind of nice to have just crazy ideas, you know.
I'm not an accordion player.
I mean, there's a lot of quirky things that we were doing, and Don was kind of coming up with different, like, percussive ideas.
The more that you embrace limitations, the more creative you become. You stumble across things, sounds, combinations of sounds you would never have come up with if you hadn't had a limitation to work against.
This record is me dealing with a lot of stuff. In a lot of ways, this record is probably the most self-indulgent record I've done, in that it's about, these are just songs that I wanted to do. These are songs that I didn't care if they were catchy or hooky or people were going to love them or not. It wasn't about that. It was about songs, me singing songs that meant something. I want my next record to be more meaningful. Right. Like I want to get back to writing lyrics that I really feel like, okay, that's from my gut. And not worrying whether this is placeable or whatever, but just making music that I believe in. It's sort of like a palate cleanser for me. It's kind of like sort of getting ready to introduce something new, which is actually kind of what the title alludes to. In a way, it's kind of like this. Even this record is sort of what I'm putting out there until a new era comes about, which I feel like I'm in. The clear of is not using any electric instruments. However, we are not plugging it in. I think what I hope that catches people on this project is that I know that it's true, and I know that this songs mean something. You won't let me go.